All right, David. Here's Christian Fabian's. The first thing is the scales. So his whole thing is to be able to play every major scale. So all 12 in the circle of fifths would be the order. So you start with C, then G, D, on up. So, anyways, but you play from the lowest note in that scale. So in C, that'd be the E, and the highest note in that scale, which would be an F, right? So you want to be able to play the scale all the way up and down. And the way you finger it is you take this basic shape, which is 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, right? That's your basic major scale shape. But instead of playing this 4 on the octave, you just start over with a 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 2, right? So if you're going to do the whole scale up and down, you can still use this basic rule, because here's the open, you could pretend is your 1, but it's obviously behind the nut for the E. So open, 2, 4, open, 3, start over, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 2, and then all the way back down. And it's not a speed exercise, especially when you're going to do all 12 scales. And you can, obviously you can move those 3 shapes in different orders. But that's the first exercise. So that's the major scale exercise. The next one that he does is he just has you do, just go all the way up the neck doing this, right? And then do this. And then do the next one. 1, 4. So you're hammering on legato, right? So I've done 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4. Now I'm going to do 2 to 3. And then I'm going to do 2 to 4. And he typically goes up to about the 12th fret. And then the next one is would be 3 to 4. All the way up. And then you do the opposite, which is the pull-offs, 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1. And then you do, obviously, the rest, which is 3 to 2, 4 to 2, and then finally 4 to 3. Right? So then the other exercise he recommends you do is to play all the notes individually across every note you can. So if you start with C, I figure there's 4 ways to do this exercise, but let me just do the one way, which is if I'm going to play all the C's. Let's start with the highest C I can hit, and then I'm going to go down an octave on that string. And then I'm going to go to the next C, which is up here. And there's the next one, right? And then here's the C, and here's the C, and then the last C is here. Nope, it's here. Right? and then you go to G, which would be here, here, and then the next G, which would be here. So you go through the circle of fifths. So you'll end up at F is the last one, right? Here's F. I don't see how good I am today. Why is that wrong? Because I'm thinking of a guitar, that's why that's wrong. F is here. And then the next F would be here. Right, so that would have been me going through all 12 keys. So in this example, I've gone from the highest on the string to the lowest on the string, starting from the highest string going to the lowest string. But I could also do it like, let's say we start with C, right? I could do it here, like this. Right, here's C, right? C. Right, going up, moving up the strings, right? The other way I could do it would be to play from, like, here's a C, going up, but starting from the highest string, right? And finally, the last way I could do it would be starting from the lowest string and going up. There's 4 ways, right? I'm just kind of thinking out loud here in terms of the different ways you can do this exercise, and you probably should do it at least 4 different ways, just to learn where all the notes are on the fingerboard. Those are the 3 main things that he recommends you do every day. So there you go. You got the major scales all the way across the neck. You've got the legato exercises, and the third one is playing all the notes on the neck. All right, there you go.